What to do when you are their rebound. Hi guys, my name is Christine. I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about what to do if you find out that the person you're dating is in a rebound with you. So that means they've recently got out of a relationship and you maybe have just discovered this and you're wondering how you can get them to stay, because obviously rebound relationships rarely work. So what can you do basically to put yourself in the best position possible to actually keep them around so they don't break things off with you in the future, because often that is what happens when someone goes into a rebound. The first thing that you really do need to do though is you need to be emotionally ready for it not to work out, because again, rebound relationships rarely do work. So you need to kind of brace yourself basically for the fact that it may not work out and you might not be able to keep them because they're just too emotionally still involved with their ex. They still haven't got over it, and they're behaving in ways that is basically not going to help the situation. It's not going to keep them in that relationship with you. So because obviously when you date someone who's on the rebound, they give off very confusing signals. Okay, so sometimes they'll be really, really interested in you and they'll want to see you all the time. You may spend a lot of time together, and then other times they're completely gone and they won't reply to your messages and they'll ghost you. So that's kind of the behavior of someone who is in a rebound relationship. That's kind of what they'll start displaying. So it's important then to be emotionally ready for it not to work out, because if you become too invested, it's going to really suck when they decide that they're no longer going to speak to you, they no longer want to date you. So first of all, you need to be really emotionally ready for it not to work out. You need to accept the fact that it may not work out. If you're enjoying the video so far, please leave a like on it and please do subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if there's something you would like me to discuss in a future video, then please leave it down in the comments, or if you have any tips and advice yourself. Thank you so much. So the second thing is to not take it personally, okay? The saying, it's me, not you, is actually really, really true when it comes to when you're dating someone who is in a rebound, okay? It really is all to do with them, right? I'm sure you're an absolutely fine, lovely human being. And the reason why I say this is because, so we have these things, what I like to call an emotional bank account with different people, right? So when you first start dating someone, your emotional bank account with that person is going to be relatively low because you don't know who they are, right? However, when you get into a relationship with that person, that's when your emotional bank account gets higher, right? So you have a lot of emotion invested in that person. So someone on the rebound has a low emotional investment in you, but they still may have a very high emotional investment, a high emotional bank account with their ex, okay? So don't take it personally if they go back to their ex, because that's something that often happens, or their ex comes back into the picture in some way, like the ex starts talking to them again and it starts to make them feel confused. Obviously they have a high emotional bank account with their ex and they have a lower one with you, which is why sometimes they can just easily drop you like that, and go back to the ex, or just drop you in general, because they don't have that much intensity of feelings around you. So usually it's not actually your fault why they go back to their ex. It's not usually your fault why they get rid of you, why they dump you, because they just don't have the emotion ready for you. They don't have that ready for you because it's still all invested in the old relationship. All of their romantic energy is still built up in that emotional bank account with their ex. And they can't give you what they don't have, right? They can't invest in you what they don't have because their emotions are invested elsewhere. So don't take it personally, okay? Like 90% of the time, it's not your fault. And you've probably had this experience. I know I have. So when I was a young adult, when I was like in my early 20s, I'm 29 now, I would get crushes a lot, right? And when I would enter a relationship, not with my crush, obviously, because that never worked out for me. I never seemed to get with my crushes. I don't know why that happened. Well, I do know why that happened, but but when you get into a relationship, when you've had a really big crush on someone for a long time, you're still kind of attached to the crush. And it takes a while for the emotions basically to transfer from the crush and into the person that you're currently dating. And I think we've all had experiences like that where we're still kind of thinking of someone else while we're with someone else, right? So what can you do then if if this person who's in a rebound with you breaks things off with you, or they start becoming unsure and they start becoming flaky and they stop talking to you, or they're not talking to you as much? They were once displaying a really high interest in you and now they're not anymore. So whenever you're talking to this person who you're in a rebound, who's in the rebound with you, just say to them that it's okay for them to contact you, because they might not feel that way, okay? They might want to break things off with you, but then later down the road, they may regret their decision. They may think, oh, I wish I had actually stuck it out with that person because that person was really nice. I wish I didn't go back to my ex, or I wish I didn't let my feelings for my ex get in the way of this new relationship with this new person. So when they dump you, or when they ghost you, or when they stop talking to you, the best thing for you to do is to actually say to them that, I can see that you're no longer interested in me, that's fine, but just to let you know, if you want to contact me in the future, you have my contact information if you decide to change your mind about me. And that doesn't mean that you are letting them walk over you or anything like that. It just, because for whatever reason, in a couple of months' time, you may find a new relationship and be in a new relationship. It doesn't mean that you wait around for them by saying, let me know if you change your mind. You don't have to sit around and wait for them to change their mind, okay? You obviously still move on and process and go on with your life, and you don't basically stop everything for them. But it's good if you want to have them, if you want them to come back into your life, if you want them to stay with you or to come back into your life, if they decide to leave it, it's important to let them know that it's okay for them to open a dialogue with you. To say to them, you have my contact information, just let me know if you change your mind about me. That's all you need to say to them. And that's it. And they may come back or they may not. But the important thing is that you've left that door open for them if they do change their mind, especially if you do really, really like them. That leaves you exactly in the best position possible for them to come back into your life, for them to change their mind about you. I highly recommend that you watch this video on the truth about rebound relationships. So another thing you can do, especially if you are still seeing this person who's in a rebound with you, is to become the person that they enjoy spending their time with. So it could be the case that they might still be actually seeing their ex, or they could be seeing other people, or they could be on the fence and wondering whether or not they should go back to their ex. Basically, you want to become when they are with you, you want to be the person that they want to spend their time with. You don't want it to be their ex. You want them to have more positive feelings around you than they do their ex, because that's what's ultimately going to make them choose you between that relationship, their old relationship, and this new one that they have with you. So the first thing that you really need to do is you need to be a positive person to be around, right? Don't bring up their ex unless they bring it up, and if they do bring it up, then try to change the topic, talk about it for like a little bit, and then move on to a more fun subject. So make them feel more positive emotions. Another thing you can do is have fun and positive experiences together, go to fun places, do fun things together, enjoy yourselves, always be funny, making them laugh, just to make them feel good about themselves when they're with you. And that's ultimately the way that you're going to beat the ex, right? Is if you make them feel more positive emotions around you than with them. But again, you need to keep in mind, they still have a higher emotional bank account with their ex, which is why they act strangely. That's why they're interested one day and then another day they're not. That's why they act that way. So it could be the case that their emotional bank account with their ex is so high that no matter what you do, they're always going to be drawn back to that relationship or something like that, or they're always going to be acting flaky around you and stuff. But at least if you make it so when you are together, they're having the best fun possible, that you're basically you're basically giving it the best shot you possibly can. Another thing is to make sure you don't try to force them into a relationship with you. Don't try to force things with them at all, because the more you try and try to convince them to be with you and not with the other person, or to pick you and to stay with you, the more you try and do that, the less it's going to make them feel free. And if they don't feel free, then they're going to want to escape you, especially if you've only been dating them for a little while, because you want to make them feel the most positive emotions you possibly can. So it's best to just let them come and go as they please if you really are interested in having them. Now, my personal opinion, I wouldn't stick with someone who's in a rebound with me. That is something I would never, ever do. because they do mess you around. They do act strangely and act flaky, and it is quite kind of like an emotional roller coaster, because you're like, oh, they really like me, and now they suddenly don't like me. I don't understand what I did. It creates a lot of self-doubt. So I personally, if I were you, I would not bother with this person anymore. I would break things off with them, because clearly it's just not a very nice environment to be in, because because it confuses you. Because ultimately it's just a really, really confusing emotional roller coaster experience. So that's my advice anyway. But in this video, at least I've given you some ways that you can, give yourself the best shot at keeping this person in your life, if that is what you want. And that's my best advice on what to do if you are their rebound. If you would like coaching with me personally, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye, guys.